Welcome to my channel, old valuable chiller. If you think pennies are just pocket change, think again. Some 1-cent coins from the United States are worth thousands, even millions. The most valuable of all is the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent, a rare minting error created when bronze planchets were used instead of steel during wartime. Only a handful exist, and one example sold for over $1 million, making it the legendary king of pennies. Always check your chain for 1943 bronze cents, 1909 SVDB, 1914D, and 1955 double die because these coins can turn small copper treasures into huge profit. Stay curious, and your next penny might be a fortune hiding in plain sight. First up, the 1945D 1-cent coin from the United States is a historic wheat penny that collectors continue searching for today because of its value in mint condition, its World War II-era background, and its metal composition that tells a story of the American economy at the end of the war. If you're looking to understand everything about the 1945D Lincoln wheat cent, including its history, its composition, its mintage, rare features, potential value, and what makes certain examples worth significantly more than face value, then stay with this complete guide. This coin remains one of the most searched and viewed copper pennies online because it is still found in circulation, in old jars, in estate collections, and in inherited coin groups, making it a realistic treasure for collectors and beginners. When people hear about a single cent from 1945 selling for strong prices, it sparks curiosity. What makes this wheat penny stand out, and how can someone recognize a valuable example? The 1945D 1-cent coin was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility recognized by the small D mint mark placed just below the year on the obverse side of the coin. When you look at the front of the coin, you see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, created to honor his legacy. This design first appeared in 1909 and continued through the 1945D issue, making it one of the longest-running and widely collected coin designs in the United States. The Denver Mint struck a massive number of coins in 1945 because the United States was finishing the final year of World War II, and the need for currency circulation across the country remained high. As the war came to an end in Europe in May and in the Pacific in August, Americans were rebuilding their lives, purchasing goods, sending mail, and re-entering the workforce, and coins like the 1945D 1-cent were constantly moving through hands nationwide. This coin is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that collectors appreciate because of its rich color and durability. The United States government had experimented with steel cents in 1943 due to copper shortages, but by 1945 copper had returned to circulation. This is why the 1945D wheat penny has a traditional reddish-brown or chocolate-brown copper patina that many collectors enjoy. Over decades, copper tones naturally mature, giving each wheat penny a unique appearance. Some coins stay bright and appealing, while others darken. Collectors search for even color, strong luster, and minimal spotting to identify examples that stand above average. The total mintage of the 1945D Lincoln wheat cent was over 267 million coins. Because so many were made, circulated examples are common, and people still find them in change. But even though the mintage was huge, only a tiny percentage remain in excellent condition with sharp details and attractive surfaces. This is what sets apart regular coins from valuable ones. Coins that stayed untouched, stored away from moisture, and kept safe for decades are the most desirable. If you ever wondered why two coins of the same date and mint mark can show completely different values, condition, and overall eye appeal are the biggest reasons. Let's talk about why the 1945D 1-cent coin continues to attract collectors and why some examples reach strong auction prices when they appear in original, sharply struck condition. Since these coins are nearly 80 years old, most show wear from years of circulation. That means the cheek and jaw of Lincoln often look flat, the wheat stalks on the reverse lose their sharp lines, and the rims look worn. Coins with significant circulation wear are historically interesting, but usually not high in market value. However, if someone finds a coin with full detail in Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat, along with solid lines on the wheat ears and clear grain texture, that coin stands out. Collectors pay attention to strike sharpness, luster, color, and the presence of marks, scratches, or spots. Any coin that remains visually attractive after a decade becomes highly collectible. The Denver Mint was known for producing strong strikes through many years, but not all 1945D cents are equal. Some coins show light striking due to worn dies or misaligned pressure. When searching through coins, you want to look for crisp lettering, well-defined wheat lines, and clarity in the motto and date. A coin with precise detail attracts demand, especially if it maintains original brilliance. Original red copper color is especially desirable. Most pennies turn brown over time, but examples with full red shine can bring strong premiums because so few survive that way. Now let's explore features that collectors examine when evaluating a 1945 D 1-cent coin. First, look at the mint mark. The D should be neatly placed below the date with no doubling or distortion. While dramatic double die varieties are not widely confirmed for this coin, people still check for signs of doubling on the date, the motto, and the lettering. Doubling attracts attention because it sets a coin apart from millions of others. Next, inspect the rims for cracks, die breaks, or chips. Throughout the wheat penny series, many coins display small raised lines or bumps caused by die wear. Some collectors enjoy these minor characteristics because they reveal the minting process. In rare cases, dramatic die breaks or cuts attract extra interest. Although major varieties are uncommon for the 1945 D-cent, people continue searching because discoveries are still possible. Another important topic is color. Collectors describe wheat pennies as red, red-brown, or brown, depending on how much original color remains. The amount of red left on the surface can dramatically affect desirability. Copper reacts to air, so maintaining original color is rare. When someone finds a coin that looks like it just left the mint decades ago, it stands out immediately. Careful storage can help maintain this appearance. Coins that were stored in dry, airtight containers tend to perform better over time, while coins exposed to moisture, heat, or handling lose brightness. If you ever come across a wheat penny that still shines with deep red color despite its age, it is something worth taking a closer look at. Now let's talk about circulation history. Many 1945 D pennies traveled across the country for decades, used to buy candy, newspapers, postage, and everyday goods. They passed through military bases, train stations, diners, farms, and city stores. Every coin carries a mystery of where it has been. Some collectors enjoy coins that look well-loved because they imagine the stories behind them. Other collectors focus on preservation and search for coins that avoided circulation completely. Both perspectives help keep the hobby alive. Whether worn or well-preserved, every vintage penny reminds people of the way life used to be when 1 cent had real purchasing power. In today's market, millions of people watch videos and tutorials about valuable pennies because it's exciting to think that a coin worth only 1 cent could be worth much more if it has exceptional qualities. While common examples are affordable, coins in superb condition or with special traits can sell for strong prices. When people discover that a tiny coin from everyday change might be valuable, it motivates the but still common enough that anyone might find one. Next up, the 1948 1-cent coin from the United States, also known as a 1948 Lincoln wheat penny, is a timeless collectible that continues to attract coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters searching pocket change, old jars, piggy banks, flea markets, and estate sales. Today, let's dive deep into the history, design, mint details, key facts, errors, varieties, rarity factors, and the value potential that makes the 1948 wheat cent a highly searched and exciting coin to learn about. If you're passionate about coins and want to know how the 1948 penny can still hold surprising worth, stay tuned as we explore everything collectors look for in this historic copper coin. The 1948 wheat penny marks an important era in United States history. Minted only 3 years after World War II, the nation was entering a time of rebuilding, growth, and technological expansion. Coins from this period carry not only numismatic value, but also historical emotion, representing resilience and hope after one of the world's most devastating conflicts. The Lincoln wheat cent had already been circulating for nearly 4 decades at that point, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln. This 1948 issue continued that tradition, keeping alive the classic wheat ear design that collectors still admire today. The obverse or front of the 1948 penny features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. You'll see the inscriptions "In God We Trust" arching above Lincoln's head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1948 appearing to the right of his portrait. The simplicity and strength in this design are part of what makes the Lincoln cent the most recognizable and enduring coin in American currency. The reverse of the coin displays 2 stalks of Durham wheat, giving the wheat penny its famous name. Centered between the wheat ears are the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum positioned above. This design ran from 1909 through 1958 before changing to the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959, which makes all wheat pennies collectible pieces of American history. The 1948 1-cent coin was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the highest number, with over 317 million coins struck. Denver followed with more than 172 million, and San Francisco contributed over 81 million pieces. While these mintages seem large, keep in mind that most of these coins circulated heavily for decades, meaning many examples today show significant wear. Because of that long use in everyday transactions, higher quality coins from 1948 are much harder to find, making condition one of the key factors collectors search for when evaluating value and demand. Copper composition also plays a role in the appeal of the 1948 penny. These coins were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them a warm reddish-brown tone when new. Over time, they turn darker brown or even chocolate color depending on storage and circulation. Some 1948 pennies still show traces of their original fiery red shine, and those natural tones are extremely attractive to collectors who pay close attention to color quality, luster, and original surfaces. When people begin researching the value of a 1948 penny, they often wonder what makes one example worth more than another. The answer begins with 3 main variables: mint mark, condition, and special characteristics like errors or die varieties. Each factor can greatly influence collector interest and search traffic. Let's explore them one by one so you can better understand what to look for during your own coin hunts. The mint mark, located below the date on the obverse, tells you where the coin was made. A plain 1948 with no mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. A 1948D means Denver, and a 1948S means San Francisco. While Philadelphia produced the highest quantity, making it the most common, San Francisco issues often attract attention because fewer were minted. Even so, each mint can produce coins that stand out when they are preserved in strong condition or display sharp original details. Next comes condition, which plays a major role in the collectible value of the 1948 penny. Coins showing heavy wear, smoothing on Lincoln's coat, weak lettering, or faded wheat ears hold mostly sentimental or historical value. But examples that show strong lines in Lincoln's hair, crisp wheat lines on the reverse, clear lettering, and natural luster are more desirable. Collectors especially appreciate coins that appear nearly untouched, as these preserve the original appearance from the minting day. When searching rolls, jars, and collections, always pay close attention to sharp edges, defined details, and consistent color, because these characteristics separate average circulated coins from standout pieces. Another reason collectors search intensely for 1948 pennies is the possibility of errors and die varieties. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the striking process, creating unusual dramatic features that make a coin rare and valuable. Every year has its own unique possibilities, and 1948 is no exception. Some known collectible errors on the 1948 1-cent coin include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not aligned properly. Die cracks and die breaks can cause raised lines or lumps of metal that appear like extra design elements. Clip planches create curved missing sections on the edge of the coin. Struck through debris can leave unusual marks or impressions, and coins with doubled letters or numbers in the date or motto can attract strong interest due to eye-catching visual distortion. Each of these variations can dramatically raise collector excitement for the 1948 wheat cent because errors combine rarity with visual uniqueness. Collectors actively search through coin rolls, online marketplaces, coin shows, estate collections, and old jars in hopes of discovering one of these special coins. Many coin enthusiasts share stories of finding 1948 pennies in pocket change decades after the wheat design stopped circulating. It's moments like these that keep coin collecting exciting, never knowing when a rare or high-quality coin might appear in the most unexpected places. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, searching for 1948 pennies is a rewarding journey because the possibility of discovering something valuable is always present. To better understand value trends, consider this. Common circulated examples tend to have modest monetary value, but coins with exceptional appeal can draw significantly more attention. Collectors are willing to pay more when the coin shows original copper color, glossy luster, sharp wheat lines, and minimal marks. Special varieties, unique surface tones, and dramatic errors also boost desirability. For many collectors, the real value comes not only from market price but from the thrill of owning pieces of United States history, preserved in copper for more than 7 decades. Another interesting point about the 1948 penny is that it represents the early post-war era. Many of these coins spent years in circulation helping Americans purchase food, candy, newspapers, and household goods. They passed through countless hands, soldiers returning from military service, families rebuilding after wartime hardships, and workers to everyday life in 1940s America. Next up, the year is 1959, and the United States introduces a brand new reverse design on the iconic Lincoln cent. Today we explore everything about the 1959 D1 cent coin from the United States, also known as the first year of the Lincoln Memorial Cent. This coin marked the beginning of a modern era of American coinage, and in this full in-depth guide, we go through its history, its design details, its copper composition, the Denver Mint production, valuable errors, price ranges in different conditions, and what makes certain 1959 D cents more desirable to collectors. If you're a coin collector, a coin hunter, a hobby enthusiast, or someone who loves searching penny rolls for treasure, stay tuned because the 1959 D Lincoln cent has more stories than a tiny copper coin might suggest. The 1959 D penny is a 1-cent coin from the United States minted at the Denver Mint. It replaced the previous wheat penny design that had been used from 1909 to 1958. The change happened to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the first Lincoln coin in 1909. Instead of wheat stalks on the reverse, the new design features a Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., making 1959 D the very first year collectors could see this new imagery. This change instantly made the 1959 D cent historic. It connects two eras, the end of the traditional wheat cents and the beginning of memorial cents that would run for decades. Millions of these coins were struck, and that means there are many examples still circulating today. The 1959 D cent is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. It has a plain edge, just like previous and later cent coins. Collectors enjoy the strong copper appearance that often stands out when freshly found in rolls or old collections. This composition continued until 1982, so the 1959 D belongs to the classic copper era before pennies switched to copper-plated zinc. On the obverse, we see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Above his head is the word liberty, and to the left is the motto, "In God We Trust." The date, 1959, appears to the right, followed by the small d mint mark indicating the Denver Mint. Collectors always inspect this mint mark carefully, as positioning and appearance can sometimes reveal interesting variations. Under Lincoln's bust is the designer's initials VDB, honoring Victor David Brenner, who originally created the Lincoln cent design back in 1909. Turning to the reverse, we see an image that was new to Americans in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial Building. This monument design includes a subtle detail many people miss. If you look closely at the center of the memorial between the columns, you can see a tiny seated statue of Abraham Lincoln. This detail makes a coin unique because Lincoln appears on both sides of the coin, something that fascinated collectors when this design debuted. Above the memorial is United States of America, below it is 1 cent, and the motto E Pluribus Unum sits above the memorial in small lettering. These inscriptions form the long-running layout of the memorial series. Now let's discuss mintage. The Denver Mint produced more than 1.27 billion 1959 D cents, meaning this coin was extremely common at the time. Because of the huge mintage, most examples are affordable, but condition and errors are the key factors that separate ordinary coins from collectible ones. Even with such a large number struck, finding coins with deep original red copper shine, strong luster, and no contact marks can be challenging today. Thousands were saved, but decades of circulation have worn down many examples. Collectors who search rolls today sometimes find bright copper 1959 D cents, especially in older collections, estate boxes, or inherited jars filled with pennies from past generations. These discoveries add excitement for coin roll hunters because a high-quality coin from 1959D still stands out dramatically when compared to darker circulated copper cents. When you hold a shiny 1959D penny in your hand, you can feel the history of the first memorial year. Now let's talk values. Common circulated 1959D pennies found in everyday change generally range from just 1 cent to a few cents, depending on condition. Light wear still keeps the coin attractive, but heavy wear reduces visual appeal. Higher quality coins with strong details, original red copper color, and minimal wear can sell for more. Brilliant examples from old original rolls can reach higher price levels when they maintain deep luster and strong eye appeal. Fully original red memorial cents from this year can bring premium values among collectors who want the best early memorial specimens. While most 1959D pennies trade for small amounts, the top condition examples with exceptional appearance can reach much higher prices. Even though standard coins are common, errors and varieties are what make the 1959D cent especially interesting for collectors and treasure hunters. Some sought-after errors include die cracks, cuts, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planches, and doubled dies. A dramatic off-center 1959D penny with visible date can sell at higher values because collectors appreciate unique minting mistakes. Coins with noticeable die breaks on Lincoln's head or along the rim are also collected as character pieces from the minting process. One of the most talked about topics connected with the 1959D cent is the possibility of Lincoln wheat reverse pieces accidentally struck with the old design. While this is extremely controversial and unconfirmed for regular circulation, the discussion alone keeps collectors curious. This debate shows how the 1959 change from wheat to memorial created interest, mystery, and speculation that still continues more than 60 years later. Another collectible area is color. Copper coins naturally change color with time, turning brown if exposed to oxygen and oils from handling. A 1959D cent that still shows brilliant red color from the day it was minted is more desirable. Collectors often categorize color as ROD for red, RB for red-brown, and BN for mostly brown. A bright red cent from 1959D instantly catches attention in coin albums and is often chosen to represent the first year of the memorial design. The 1959D penny is also popular with people building year-complete or date mint sets. Because it is the first memorial year, collectors almost always want this coin included. It forms a bridge between wheat cent albums and memorial albums. If you display a 1959D next to a 1958 wheat penny, the design transition becomes visually clear, showing how American coinage moved forward into modern representation. Many collectors remember receiving these coins in change during the 1960s and keeping them for nostalgia. That emotional memory adds to the coin's appeal, especially for people who grew up in those decades. Even though the 1959D cent is common, patience and careful searching can reward dedicated collectors. A high-quality example with strong color, clean surfaces, and sharp details can be worth holding on to. Searching rolls, old jars, estate collections, and inherited coin boxes can lead to finding a sparkling 1959D that stands above the rest. Some collectors enjoy assembling a full roll of early memorial cents in bright red color because of the visual impact they create together. Now we will explore the 1944 wheat penny as an iconic American coin because it connects directly to the World War II era, a time when the United States Mint was adapting to wartime needs. Many people recognize the wheat reverse with 2 wheat stalks, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the bold inscription of liberty. But what makes this year especially interesting is the transition in metal composition and the mystery surrounding rare steel pieces that continue to attract attention from coin collectors today. The 1944 1-cent coin is not just another wheat penny. It is a symbol of American history, patriotism, and change. In 1943, the mint used steel coated with zinc to make pennies in order to save copper for the war effort. Then in 1944, the mint returned to using copper, but this time recycled materials were used from spent shell casings from military training grounds. This creates a direct link between the 1944 penny and World War II history. Holding a 1944 wheat penny is like holding a small physical reminder of the home front effort and the sacrifices made during the war. This historical significance is a big reason why collectors continue to search for this coin. The obverse features a familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. It displays the motto "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1944 on the right. Below Lincoln's shoulder, very tiny, is the designer's initials VDB, a detail collectors love to look for. The reverse includes the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent, United States of America, and the motto E pluribus unum above. These wheat stalks inspired collectors to call this design the wheat penny or wheat cent, a name still used today even though the design changed in 1959. Collectors always want to know how many of these coins were made. The 1944 penny had huge production numbers because copper was once again available. The Philadelphia Mint struck the majority, while the Denver and San Francisco mints also produced large quantities. This is why most 1944 pennies are common in circulation, yet certain variations and errors turn ordinary cents into highly desirable finds. Coin roll hunters often search bankrolls, old jars, and inherited collections hoping to spot something special from 1944. One of the most talked about topics is a rare 1944 steel penny. While the normal 1944 cents are copper, a small number of steel planchets left over from 1943 were accidentally used in 1944. These rare steel strikes are among the most searched coins in numismatic history. If someone finds a magnetic 1944 penny, coin collectors stop and take notice. The idea that a common penny year could hide a rare metal variation keeps collectors searching. Another famous error is a 1944 wheat penny struck on foreign planchets or on bronze with slight variations in weight. Such mint errors are highly collectible. The typical 1944 wheat penny is made of copper with a mixture of zinc and tin. If you weigh a normal example on a sensitive scale, it should be around 3.1 grams. A lighter or heavier weight might indicate something unusual, like an error or different metal planchet. Many collectors keep a small digital scale handy because weight can reveal hidden rarity. Searching for heavy or magnetic 1944 pennies adds excitement to coin collecting, especially for beginners. People often ask why the 1944 penny looks different in color or surface texture compared to other years. Since recycled materials and wartime metal sources were used, the tone of the copper can vary. Some coins turn dark brown, others stay bright red, and some pick up spots or toning over decades. The way a coin has been stored also affects its appearance. Exposure to humidity or direct handling can darken the surface, while protection in envelopes or containers can keep it more original looking. Collectors prefer coins with original mint luster, smooth surfaces, and sharp details, especially around Lincoln's beard, the wheat lines, and the lettering. The mint marks are also important. A 1944 penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. A small D under the date means Denver, and a small s indicates San Francisco. All three versions are collected, but collectors love searching for sharp examples with strong strike details. Looking closely, the date and mint mark can also reveal small variations known as repunched mint marks or doubled strikes, which increase interest among collectors searching for rare 1944 penny errors. Coin enthusiasts often ask how many 1944 pennies are still around today. With billions originally minted, most circulated for decades, showing wear from use in everyday buying and selling. However, many were saved because wheat pennies were removed from circulation by collectors starting in the 1950s and 1960s. Today, they still appear in coin rolls, estate sales, and old collections. Every collector dreams of finding that one unusual piece, especially a 1944 steel cent or a rare era penny that turns a small discovery into a major numismatic find. Another interesting topic is what makes one 1944 penny more valuable or desirable than another. Rarity, condition, metal variation, and historical demand all play a role. Even though most 1944 copper cents are common, the powerful interest surrounding World War II coins keeps demand strong. Many collectors like to build full wheat cent collections from 1909 to 1958, and the 1944 penny is an essential piece of that journey. Searching through pocket change or family coin jars is how many collectors start their passion. If you're searching online for terms like 1944 wheat penny history, 1944 copper penny details, how to identify a rare 1944 penny, or what makes a 1944 cent special, then learning design details, metal composition, and mint variations gives you the advantage. The more knowledge a collector has about what to look for, the better chance of recognizing something others overlook. That's why videos like this help collectors discover hidden value and understand what makes the 1944 penny so popular among United States 1-cent coins. Many viewers ask whether their 1944 penny is worth keeping. The answer is yes, especially if it has sharp details, rich red color, or unusual characteristics. Saving a coin from this year means keeping a physical memory from the past, a reminder of wartime America, and an essential part of U.S. coinage history. If you ever find a magnetic 1944 penny or one that looks unusual, always take a closer look because the rare variations are the most sought-after surprises in coin collecting.